Wow, what a week it's been for the Indian internet. I mean, we saw absolutely everything from scandals at an AI summit and influencers going head to head to Supreme Court hearings and frankly, some truly shocking crimes. Now, on the surface, all these stories might seem totally unrelated, right? But believe me, they all tie back to a much bigger conversation. So let's dive into this week of pure viral chaos. And that really brings us to the core question of this whole explainer. Is what you see online actually real? Is a question that kind of hovered over almost every single major event this week, starting with a pretty wild story about smoke, mirrors, and of all things, a robotic dog. All right, so let's kick things off with our first theme, illusion versus reality. This is where those lines between what's being presented and what's actually true get incredibly blurry, as one university found out the hard way. Okay, so picture this. The scene is a major AI summit right in Delhi. Golgochia's University is at their stall, and they're proudly showing off a robotic dog. Their claim, made by a professor right there on site, was bold and it was simple. We developed this. A huge statement of innovation that, well, turned out to be completely false. But, the attempt to do damage control? It went viral for all the wrong reasons. After getting called out, the professor tried to explain it all away with this now famous line, "Your 6 can be my 9." What does that even mean? The statement was so confusing, it instantly became a meme, with people joking, "Your Alu can be my Balu." The fallout was swift. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology basically asked them to pack up and leave, saying they wanted genuine and actual work at the summit. And then, believe it or not, it got worse. A second exhibit, this time a drone, was revealed to be made of thermocol. In the end, the university put out an apology, shifting all the blame onto the ill-informed professor, even claiming she wasn't authorized to speak to the press in the first place. Now, this whole theme of online illusion is nothing new. This story from back in 2019 about a Chinese streamer went viral again this week, and it illustrates the exact same point perfectly. On the left, you see the face her followers all knew and loved. And on the right, her real face, which was revealed when her beauty filter glitched out during a live stream. The impact was immediate, and you can literally put a number on it. The second that illusion shattered, she reportedly lost over 14,000 followers. It's just a stark reminder of how much of our online world is curated and, in some cases, completely manufactured. But what happens when these online worlds collide out in the open? Let's move on and see how this all builds, because this week also saw some major influencers clashing publicly. We're moving from passive illusion to active, open conflict. First up, we had a war of words between Praful Garg and Dhruv Rathi. The whole thing kicked off after Dhruv Rathi made a pretty controversial statement comparing the prime minister to a donkey. Praful Garg fired back, not really by defending the politics, but by criticizing the style. He argued that making these negative, senseless statements is a really easy way to farm engagement online, which, directly translates to visibility and money, but it's not the same as offering respectful, constructive criticism. Then we saw a business dispute just spill right out into the open. The influencer Flying Beast issued this direct challenge after another creator made a paid promotional video comparing different ghee brands, including his. Now, this wasn't just about pride. He was essentially saying, hey, stop reading scripts blindly. Let's do a real blind taste test with random people and see whose brand is actually better. He was putting his brand's reputation and sales right there on the line. These online spats show that words and actions have real consequences. But sometimes those consequences move way beyond social media arguments and land you squarely in the eyes of the law. So the long-running snake venom case involving Elvis Shadov finally reached the Supreme Court. The whole thing started with a snake being used in a music video, but the court's focus was laser-sharp: wildlife protection laws. The judges raised some really serious concerns, stating that allowing a popular person to use a voiceless victim like a snake sends a terrible message. They questioned how he even got the snake in the first place, emphasizing that even if you have one, you have to inform wildlife officers, not use it for a video. But the consequences aren't always just legal ones. Sometimes, this disconnect between the online world and actual reality can lead to the most tragic and dangerous outcomes, where safety and just basic humanity are completely ignored. This is probably the most disturbing story of the week. An MBA student in Indore was arrested for murdering his girlfriend and then allegedly sharing a video of the assault in a college WhatsApp group. When reporters confronted him and asked him why he did it, his response was just chillingly casual. Nothing happened, man. Just leave it. And as the reporters pressed him, totally shocked by his lack of remorse, he actually smiled and said, "What will you do by knowing?" before just walking away. His complete detachment from the horrific reality of what he allegedly did, it left everyone absolutely stunned. We saw that same dangerous disconnect from consequences somewhere else, though thankfully with less tragic results. On the film set of Durandar 2, a production house repeatedly violated their shooting permits by using firecrackers and other flammable stuff. They got a warning, ignored it, and then did it again. Now they're facing fines and could even get blacklisted, with the All Indian Cine Workers Association condemning their actions and saying, the safety of workers just cannot be compromised. So all of these incidents, from the kind of harmless deceptions all the way to deadly actions, they force us to ask these bigger questions about authenticity, regulation, and really the future of our digital world. And this brings us to the other side of the coin, because in a digital world that's so full of fakes, some creators are going to extraordinary lengths to prove their content is real. Take one of the world's biggest YouTubers, MrBeast. He actually revealed he has spent over $1 million on third-party compliance teams just to verify that every single elimination in his high-stakes videos is genuine and fair for every single contestant. So that leaves us with this final question. After a week that gave us everything from fake robots and influencer feuds to legal battles and just tragic negligence, who is really in control of our digital lives? Is it us, the users? Is it the creators who are shaping all the content? Or is it the rules and the laws that are always trying to play catch up? It's definitely something worth thinking about.